Hey, welcome to another episode of Out of the Darkness and Into the Light. I just love the way that sounds. I just love the way that feels, to be out of the darkness and into the light. I'm doing another outside shot today. I just really like being outside, being in nature, being in the natural realm. It just feels so natural. It just feels so natural. We can hear those cicadas talking to each other, reminding us that the sun is out and it's a beautiful day. Hopefully you went out today, enjoyed some of this beautiful weather. Well, it's beautiful where I'm at. Wherever the weather's at where you're at, whatever the weather's like where you're at, take advantage of it. Go out. If it's raining, feel the rain. You know, we're so used to covering up and don't want to get wet from the rain. If it's raining too hard, don't go outside if it's raining real hard, but you know, enough to you could stand and just feel it for a little bit. And then also we're reluctant to go into the rain because we don't know what's coming from out of the sky. Isn't that something? Wow, this done got that bad. Can't even go out in the rain or play in the snow for fear that there could be something detrimental in the rain and in the snow. Well, we're doing a pretty good job in destroying the planet and destroying ourselves. I think we get a doctorate degree in destroying the planet, and I think we get a master's degree in destroying ourselves, because we are the masters of destroying ourselves and in destroying other cultures and in destroying nature. Nature has been so good to us. Why do you want to treat nature like that? We're going to talk real briefly today about grieving and the grieving process. We all grieve. What is grief? What is grieving to you? Is grief to you what the cartoon Charlie Brown? Good grief, Charlie Brown. Good grief. Not bad grief. Grief is positive energy output, and grief also is negative energy output. And grief is also a positive energy input, and it's also a negative energy input. And we already know that the two can go together. It just depends on which one we focus on the most is the results of. So if your grieving is positive, it's positive to grieve. You can get that release. And we all grieve our loved ones, and then there's more ways to grieve than just death. You know, you grieve relationships, you grieve over possessions, you just grieve over situations, conversations, and we always associate the word grief with death, and I have a number of death scenarios that I could go over with you, but one of them that I still grieve is the death of my son. That one too, but I was really thinking about my brother. I was kind of trying to go in a chronological order, but yeah, my son, he was murdered, and still grieve his death. And I know it's been some years since, but it was a senseless murder, and I grieve it, thinking about all the opportunity that he could have had, and that he had and didn't have an opportunity to take advantage of it. Has a son. Son will never get to see his dad. He'll get a replacement dad, but he'll never get to see his dad. And me being a dad, man, it was a great feeling to see my kids from a baby until now they're adults, and so we grieve that process. We grieve that gap. We grieve that scenario. We grieve that situation. And then we move on also. But we all grieve differently, and we all grieve at a different time frame. There's no particular time limit or time frame in which you have to grieve. There's no, you have to grieve now before, speak now, forever hold your peace. Grieve now or forever hold your peace. No, you could grieve until the cows come home. And once the cows come home, you can continue to grieve. Grieving is good. Grieving is healing. There's healing in the grieving. There's healing in the gravy. Yep, I didn't say there's Helen in the gravy. Helen's in the gravy again. She just will not stay out of the gravy. No, I said there's healing in the grieving. There's healing. And so if you want to be healed, grieve. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Grieving is good for you. Grieving is good for the soul. Grieving is good. Some people grieve humans. Some people grieve their pets, their animals, their birds, their fishes. So it's okay. It's a natural process. We're in nature, talking about nature, natural process. It's just a natural process. And we remember some of the grief scenarios and grief situations, and we memorialize them, and and that's good. It's good. Because especially when it comes to losing a loved one or a family member, they may not be here with us physically, but they're also here with us spiritually. So because they're here with us spiritually and no longer with us physically, we can grieve them. And when I grieve, I try my best to think of all the good things about that person I'm grieving for. All the good experience and the great experiences we had together. All the fun we had together. All the laughter we shared. And that helps me to get over the fact that they're not there. They're not with us anymore. But then I'm jealous because they've gone on to the next plane and they know what the next plane is like. It's going to be a while before I find out. So what they know. And I do believe they come back and visit us in spirit and they protect us like we have guardian angels and protected angels that's protecting us. I believe in that principle. I believe in that concept. I believe in that mythos, basic beliefs. That's one of my basic beliefs. I believe it. And then you see in the scriptures, it's always talking about leaving this plane of existence and coming back, or just leaving this plane of existence to be in another place that they deemed or call heaven. And so, there's life after death. And so because there's life after death, if there's any deaths that you are grieving, grieve those deaths, but continue to have life after those deaths. Continue to have life after those scenarios in which you grieve. Continue to have life. Life is beautiful. Life is what we make it. Life is what you make it. If you want to make a tuna fish sandwich, then make a tuna fish sandwich. You don't put ham on the bread if you want a tuna fish sandwich. That means you want a ham sandwich. If you want a hamburger, make a hamburger. Don't go try to make a hamburger, then you start frying chicken. Then you didn't want a hamburger. You wanted fried chicken. Life is just like that. It's what you make it. Life is what you make it. Heard a little noise over to the left. I just wanted to see was there some wildlife or something, because there's wildlife out here. Not that I'm afraid of anything, but I just wanted to get it on film and capture it. But life is what you make it. Life is beautiful. I thank him every day for another day. I thank him for this life. I thank him for this day because I've never seen this day. This day was future dated. This day was yesterday. Yesterday was the past. But when I was existing in yesterday, yesterday was my present. And I was looking forward to my future, where today was future from yesterday. And I'm enjoying future. You need to enjoy your future as well. You need to enjoy your day as well. Today, this is the day. You can enjoy this day. Step outside. Look out the window. Go outside. Listen, hear the birds. Smell the fresh air. Now smell the polluted air. Every positive. There's a negative. So we did fresh air, and then we did polluted air. Oh, man, but just remember, we all grieve, and we all grieve differently, and there's no time frame. You can grieve now until the cows come home, like I said. You can grieve till the cows come home, give milk, you make cheese, cottage cheese, ice cream. Grieve. Do it. It's a cleansing. It's a cleansing. It's an inner cleansing for the spirit. It's an inner cleansing for the physical man. So grieve. There's nothing wrong with grieving. There's nothing wrong with grieving. And so, as usual, you know what I'm getting ready to say. It's so great to come from out of the darkness and into the light, and into the light, and into the light. And I think that's close enough. And I think that's too close.